Hey lovely ladies, you are now watching Candy Loves Ya.
Hey lovely ladies, gorgeous gents, and crazy kids. I gotta admit, I have missed talking about hair with you all, so I'm happy. I've been getting so many questions about the big chop and your mini chop. A lot of you have questions, concerns, questions about my process, questions about how you could better your process, so I'm gonna answer all the questions about your big chop slash mini chop today. Now first of all, I wanna address the fact that I've been receiving so many comments and messages about people that are considering doing their big chop, but they're asking me, should they, or do you think I'm ready to? And honestly, that's not something I can help you with. The decision to go natural and the decision to cut your hair off is completely your decision. It's your hair, it's your final decision. Why do I always get text during videos? Goodness. But that's really nothing that I can help with. That's a personal decision. If you are ready, if you think your hair is ready, if you're ready to deal with everything that's coming your way, if you've done your research, then that's something that you need to evaluate on your own and decide on your own. So I would really love to help you ladies, but honestly, it is a complete personal decision that I can't help you with. The questions are really in no particular order. I'm just going to go down the list one by one and answer them to the best of my ability. So the first question is from Diamond Cut. She asks, how do you stop shrinkage? I don't stop shrinkage. I don't attempt to stop shrinkage because if you don't know, people with, our type of texture, colored people texture, tend to have hair that shrinks up a lot. And that's something that happens with the majority of people. It's something that it's like kind of inevitable. You can't really do anything to prevent it, and it seems like it would be frustrating trying to. So that's why I really held off on doing my mini chop, because I knew that since my curl pattern is so small, it would be a huge problem for me. So my hair is almost to bra strap length. I probably have a few inches until bra strap length. Is definitely past my shoulders, but you can't tell when it shrinks up. So it's just something that I've learned to embrace, and I just kind of go with it. The next question is from Carly242. Hey girl. But she just did her big chop recently, and she's still stuck in transitioner mode, that awkward phase where you really don't know what to do with your natural hair. And she asked me, how do I deal with dryness right after chopping my hair off? I do want to say before I start that I think it's completely normal to feel like you don't know what to do with your hair right after you cut it off. I have been fully natural for like 4.5 months now, and I'm still kind of in that phase where sometimes I really don't know what to do with it. And just like when you first started transitioning, you really didn't know what to do with it. It's basically starting the whole process over again. You're getting to know a new head of hair. So that's completely fine. Don't feel pressure. Don't feel rushed. If any of you are feeling that way or feeling like you don't know what you're doing with your natural hair since you cut your hair. Now, to answer your question, how do I deal with the dryness? I really experimented with co-washing and products because my regimen did have to change just a little bit when I cut off my hair. I definitely picked up on deep conditioning my hair, which is something that I suggest to anybody. If you want healthy, strong hair with nice nutrients in it, if you're putting heat on your hair, if you've dyed your hair, I highly suggest deep conditioning. That has worked wonders with my hair and has kept it from getting dry, and that's a major way that I've learned to deal with my dryness if I do get any. Also, I do wet my hair every day and moisturize every day, usually 2 times a day. And that's basically how I deal with the dryness that I have. The next question is from BT Vaughn 1. I guess, sorry girl, I just jacked that up. But her question is, how did I adjust to having shorter hair after the BC? Was it hard for me to get used to? And has styling it changed for me? Has it been easier, harder? And yeah, that's it. So it is a huge change for me personally because I have always had at least shoulder length hair, and for most of my life, the majority of my life, a huge percentage of my life, it's been past my shoulders. So it was kind of weird getting used to it, but I wouldn't say it was a bad thing. It wasn't something that I was really uncomfortable with. It was something that I completely embraced because, I don't know, after having that long journey, I felt like I worked so hard to get to this point. So when I cut my hair, I was all about embracing everything, embracing my new curl patterns, embracing the natural texture, everything. So I don't have any negative feelings toward it. I didn't really feel too awkward. It was definitely a change, but it wasn't that big of a deal to me, and that's huge because I've always been into having longer hair. So if it didn't affect me, maybe it won't affect you that much. Also, styling it, I wouldn't say it's necessarily harder. It's just learning how to work with a new head of hair, like I answered when I was talking about Carly's question. It just takes a little bit of getting used to when you're dealing with that new head of hair, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's harder. It's just different once again. And has styling it changed for you? Yeah, I have to do my sections a little bit smaller when I do it because my hair is so thick, but other than that, it hasn't been that much different. Here's a big common question that I always get from the Natural Beauty 80. Her question is, who did your big chop? Did you go to a salon or did you do it to yourself? And she also asked how I adjusted to the short hair, and I kind of just answered that in the last question. But I did do the big chop by myself. I have never been to a salon in my life. For those of you that keep asking, never in my life have I been to a hair salon. I've always done everything myself, or my mom has done it. So I didn't change that up when I did the big chop. And yeah, did it myself. Since you did ask a question about who did it, I guess I could tell you the process of how I did it. First of all, I used hair cutting scissors. Do not use regular scissors because that can be harsh on your hair if you don't do it right. The blades just aren't meant to cut hair. So don't do that. Go to the store, purchase you some hair cutting scissors. You can find them in a lot of places. But I rinsed my hair really good, made sure it was all soaking wet, and then I applied conditioner to my hair because if you don't know, conditioner typically brings out your natural hair pattern, and especially when you're transitioning, it really helps you see that separation between relaxed hair and natural hair. So when you're cutting your hair, it's easier to see where you should clip. I started in the back in case I messed up. I didn't want to start in the front in case I jacked it up. I can't fix it that easily if it's right smack dab in the front. So I started in the back. I pulled down a line. Say this is where my relaxed hair was and it stopped here. I just took it a little below that point and snipped off the relaxed ends. And I didn't take huge sections. I think I just took smaller sections, probably like this, and did that. You can make the sections as big or small as you want. Really take your time. There's no rush to do it. There's no pressure. If you're doing it by yourself, you know, there's nothing to rush for. So make sure you don't, just throw yourself off. Don't overwhelm yourself. It's really not a hard process, and it's not, you shouldn't have to put that much thought into it. October's Finest and I'm Just Day were both wondering, when did I know it was the right time to cut my hair? When was the moment that I just had that, epiphany? And I'm Just Day also asked, was I nervous about it? First of all, no, I wasn't nervous about it. I just woke up that morning. I told my boyfriend, babe, I think I'm going to cut my hair now. And he was playing the video games and he was like, okay, whatever. So I went in the bathroom, cut it all off, wasn't nervous, got it done, came in there, and he just looked at me like, you were serious? And I was like, yeah. And I was just happy that later that day we went out, I had, I wasn't nervous. I was just embracing it, like I said before. And how did I know? I had that basically, I honestly talked to my hair, honestly. Like, I've built a friendship with my hair. I've built a relationship with my hair. So I kind of know what it likes, what it doesn't like, just like you would know a friend. That's kind of how I know my hair. And I think it's important to build that relationship with your hair because that's basically how I knew when it was time to cut my hair. Because for the longest, I had been saving my hair, and finally my hair got to a point where it was basically telling me from not reacting to products or not doing the, you know, it just wasn't the same as it used to be. And I could just tell that my hair just didn't like the relaxed ends anymore. It just didn't. And I honestly feel like people probably think I'm crazy talking about this, but I honestly just have that type of relationship with my hair where I just knew it. And I think a lot of people, when it was time, some just get frustrated, some people get fed up, some people just want to cut it off, some people just want to get it over with. But if you really develop that type of relationship with your hair, I think your hair will let you know, or you'll see signs when it's time to cut your hair. So the last question is from BabyFat242001, and I've kind of answered it, but I really do want to repeat it, I guess, not to be repetitive, but you know, it's happening. But she said that she's been feeling really frustrated and unmotivated with her hair lately, and she wants to know if I feel like that at times. And yes, I do, because like I said, you're going back to step one. After transitioning for however long you transition, it's all the way back to the beginning phase again. And yes, that is annoying. It's frustrating. There have been many times when I've first became natural when I would just let my hair go for days and just put a hat on or something because I just didn't feel like dealing with it. I didn't feel like going through all that again. But I mean, now I started by doing wash and goes, which I really liked because they were really convenient, and then I would do puffs a lot, and then I gradually moved into the transitioning hairstyles like the flat twist, bantu knots, all that stuff, just trying to figure out what my natural hair likes, not what my transitioner hair liked, what my natural hair now likes. What styles does it respond to? What products does it respond to? So yes, at the start I did feel unmotivated. I did get frustrated at times, but it's a really gradual process, and just let that process happen. If you cut your hair, I mean, it's not like it's just all gonna fall out and you're not gonna have the time to deal with it. I feel like so many people rush to cut it, so many people rush to start doing stuff with it. You just rush to try so many new things. You rush when you're cutting it. It should be a laid back thing, and that's what keeps me grounded and calm. That's what kept me calm during my transitioning phase, and that's what keeps me calm now, because I have all the time in the world. I'm going to be natural for the rest of my life. I'm not touching relaxers again. So what's the rush? Why should I rush to be trying out styles? Why should I rush to be trying out new products? It's good too, but I mean, I'm finally doing it now, and that's all that matters. Even if it took me a couple months to pick up the pace and get back to where I was, I mean, I just went at my own pace, and I found that that worked for me best, and that's what my hair actually liked. So, yeah. So, I hope this helped a few of you get a better idea of what the big chop is like, how you might feel. I hope I made some of you feel better about the whole thing, more comfortable with the whole process. If you have any more questions, if I get enough, I'll do a part 2 to this video. But if not, I'll just be answering them in the comments below. I will see you lovely ladies, gorgeous gents, and crazy kids later. Candy loves ya.